What's up, YouTubers? Your boy, Deluxe Man, and welcome to another SummerSlam review from my SummerSlam review series. Straight upload, no intro. Need to catch up. Let's get to it. So, 2004 for the WWE was weird. It was a weird time to be watching the product because although they were strong in terms of characters, moments, and stories, in-ring wise, wasn't the greatest year. Now, that's not to say there were not any great matches in 2004. Oh, there were plenty of classics. The main event of Wrestlemania 20, Triple Threat, Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. Even their rematch at Backlash. Awesome matches. Mick Foley, Randy Orton. That hardcore match at Backlash. Oh my goodness. Amazing. But then you also got Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, who I feel like had a great series of matches. And their overall feud was really good. But then, sorry, if you hear stuff in the background, it's because I'm outside. It's louder inside the house, trust me. But, yeah, I feel like outside of those, it becomes a blur. Like, you really have to go out of your way to catch good quality matches on Raw and SmackDown. And I think during this time, fans became disenfranchised with WWE because it's not that they weren't having good TV shows. Compared to nowadays, it was still like some of the best television WWE has done. But it's just wrestling fans watch wrestling for wrestling. And when they realized WWE was becoming more of a television show and less of a wrestling product, we start to see those anti-crowds show up, like here in Toronto. This crowd during this SummerSlam were a-holes. They were booing the baby faces and cheering the heels. And it was their way of telling WWE, look, we want something different. Y'all keep doing this crap. The same way you present your shows isn't working for us anymore. Do something different, please. And we start to see companies like TNA capitalize on that, giving us all kinds of amazing in-ring action. And I think fans start to kind of shift over to more of that kind of style and less of what WWE has been doing. And I think as a result, this SummerSlam suffered. This SummerSlam overall, to me, it wasn't horrible. Wasn't great. It was just kind of there. And it feels kind of bad knowing this comes after SummerSlam 2002, which is, again, my favorite SummerSlam of all time. However, it's, let me fix this real quick. It's just kind of disappointing seeing what I felt was a great series of SummerSlams. 2000, 2001, then this one, 2002, and then we get to 2003, which, again, could have been better, but it was still solid. And then we get to this pay-per-view, which is honestly one of the weaker SummerSlams I've seen so far. Is it the weakest? No. But one of the weaker ones. But let's just go through some details, and then we'll talk about why as we get into the matches. So, the show itself was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. The date was August 15th, 2004. The arena, Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Canada, attended 17,640. Commentary for Raw was Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. SmackDown, Taz and Michael Cole. Ring announcers were Lillian Garcia, Howard the Fink for the main event, and Tony Chimel. So the first match we have is, okay, see right off the bat, I'm already kind of confused because I forget how some of this stuff came about. So it was the Dudleys, which is Devon, Bubba, and Spike, who were heels. Now, I remember the Dudleys being heels in 2004, but I don't remember why. Why were they heels? Was it something to do with that story between Paul Heyman and Taker? Because I know Paul Heyman got the urn. And then Taker ends up killing Paul Bearer, which just kind of made me go, what was the point of all of this? Regardless, I don't remember the reason why they turned heel. But they turned heel, and Spike turned heel as well. Why did he turn heel? I don't know, just some weird decisions with these characters. I can't say it wasn't effective because they got some heat, but they took on Rey Mysterio, Paul London, and Billy Kidman. Solid match, really enjoyed it. Dudley's win. Not much else to say about it. Can't really go beyond that, besides it being a solid match to open the show. And then we get into, oh Jesus Christ, okay. Till death do us part. The winner gets to marry Lita. Matt Hardy versus Kane. Now, before Matt became broken, he was in a relationship with Lita. A legit relationship, not kayfabe. Like, really, they were in a relationship. And as you guys know the story, Lita gets hurt. She doesn't see Matt as much. And as you know, when you don't see your loved one all that much, temptation creeps in. And she fell victim to temptation. She ends up cheating on Matt Hardy and getting with Edge. We'll get more into that next year when we talk about SummerSlam 2005. But during all of that nonsense, she was also involved with a storyline with Kane. Kane was torturing, hunting down, basically making Matt Hardy's life a living hell. And to make him stop, Lita had sex with him, which got her pregnant with Kane's baby. And as a result, Matt wanted to marry Lita to get Kane out of her life. And Kane's all like, no, she needs to marry me because I'm the father of her baby. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, this TV drama. Oh, whatever, but that's why this match existed. Basically, the winner gets to marry Lita, and Kane ends up winning. Yeah, Kane won, and they actually do get married, which I don't even remember being all that. Was that even impactful? Like, what did that lead to? I don't even think it led to anything. It just happened. They did a lot of stuff back then that was just kind of there. Didn't really lead to anything, especially this. This was nothing. This was in a vacuum. And it's so weird when it applies to everything else because, okay, they get married, and then Gene Snitsky comes in, and then Kane turns babyface. And then Lita turns heel to join with Edge. It doesn't really add up, really. I don't want to think about it anymore. It is what it is. Kane wins, and he ends up marrying Lita. And then we get Randy Orton and John Cena meeting each other backstage. For the first time. Ever. I think. One of the first few times. And as you guys know, these guys became the franchise players of the company. So it kind of made sense. We also see the GMs, Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long, Holla Holla Holla, meeting for the first time as well. Eric Bischoff makes the point that SmackDown has had 4 GMs in the span of 2 years. Stephanie, Paul Heyman, Kurt Angle. I'll explain Kurt later. And now Teddy. Yeah, that's kind of bad. You know what else is kind of bad? The fact that I forgot about this next match. United States Championship Best of 5 series. John Cena versus Booker T. I literally forgot this existed. This is one of the most forgettable feuds ever. Ever. And watching the match, I wonder why. This was the most bland, most nothing match I've ever seen. It's just there. I remember watching this match and going, this is nothing. I don't even feel anything for this. So yeah, there you go. John Cena wins match 1. I think he wins the entire series. He has to because he drops the belt to Carlito. Oh yeah, that feud. Carlito beats him on his first night there. What the hell? I'm so happy I had a friend to talk about wrestling during this time because I don't think I would have been able to last because this is... We had the Intercontinental Triple Threat match between Edge, Chris Jericho, and Batista. This is the notorious match where the crowd turned on Edge in his own hometown, which would lead to him becoming a heel. The Rated R Superstar, as we will see next year. But yeah, that sucked. I hate seeing them boo Edge like that. He didn't deserve it. Although, to be fair, I have to be honest with you. I do remember getting kind of sick of seeing Edge during this time. I mean, it's because he didn't really have much to his character. He was just kind of there. didn't really do much. Personality-wise, he was lacking. And I remember the fact that he was hurt. He got hurt in 2003? 2003. So he had to leave for a short period of time. And I think fans just kind of fell out of love with him during that time. And I guess never really had any kind of development. So, yeah, thinking about it that way, it's best that he did turn heel. Yeah, that heel turn was the best thing that could happen to him. Literally. Because, man, he was lacking. And you know what? He soared. He soared when he turned heel. It wasn't even funny how much better he became as a heel. Lord. But yeah, Edge does retain in a pretty decent match involving Batista and Chris Jericho. I was going to say Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's next, sorry. But yeah, that was a decent triple threat. Speaking of Kurt Angle, he took on Eddie Guerrero. Now, as I said before, one of the best parts of 2004 was that match series between Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero. And I'm sorry if you're hearing noise. I tried to go outside to escape it from inside the house, but it's still kind of creeping out. Shut up. Now, story goes, Eddie beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. And so, Kurt Angle became general manager to screw over Eddie Guerrero. Basically did what he did to, how do I put this, get back at him for all the crap that happened. There was this whole story bit where Big Show chokeslammed Kurt Angle off of a roof or something like that because he was, Big Show was chasing Tori Wilson. He saw Kurt Angle, chokeslammed him off the top of a roof. Then Kurt Angle basically was put in a wheelchair. And we're assuming he was never hurt. He faked it just to get sympathy and to screw over Eddie Guerrero. But I think he was, story-wise, he was hurt and then he got better. Whatever you want to say, just put it down below. Regardless, throughout that time as GM, he basically screwed Eddie Guerrero every chance he could. And Eddie lost the championship as a result of Kurt Angle, which would lead to the whole notorious, yeah, fired segment with Vince McMahon, where he made Kurt Angle a wrestler again and put him against Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam. And this match was amazing. Their match at WrestleMania was awesome too. This one was just as good. They've always had good matches, and it's good going back and watching Eddie do his thing. I miss Eddie. Can we just stop for a second and just appreciate the talent that Eddie Guerrero was? You will never, ever, 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 ever see another talent like Eddie. Such an awesome guy. Loved his lie, cheat, and steal gimmick. One of the most notorious babyface, although it was heelish gimmicks in the world. I don't give a damn. I loved Eddie. Nobody gave a damn that Eddie was cheating. He was charismatic about it. He made that work. The fact that you can cheat and be a heel and get babyface reactions for being a heel and admittedly being charming about it, that just showed you how awesome this guy is. He left us too soon. Eddie left us way too soon, y'all. But Angle wins this match. And following that awesome match, we get this match. Eugene versus Triple H. So, Eugene, I'll admit, was one of my favorite parts of Raw in 2004. Because, look, it's not often we see comedy characters done right. Eugene was hilarious. Eugene was great. My favorite segment with Eugene was that segment with The Rock and Jonathan Coachman. The Rock returns, calls Coachman a popcorn fart, and then he asks Eugene, "Who's your favorite wrestler, Eugene?" "Triple H!" You know, I died laughing. That was awesome. Such a great comedy character. But as a result of that segment, and it being as awesome as it was, came this feud with Triple H, which, on paper, made sense. Triple H took advantage of a big-time fan to get his World Championship match, and to get the World Championship. Now, it ended up failing twice, I think. So, as a result of Eugene screwing things up, Triple H gets pissed off and becomes a monster heel, which, let me tell you something. This is some of Triple H's best work. As a heel, the stuff he did to William Regal and Eugene is uncomfortably awesome. I loved his segments with William Regal. When he destroyed William Regal with that sledgehammer and he's all bloodied up, and then you see him go backstage, stare into the mirror, just covered in blood, and he's smiling. Yo, that's the Triple H I miss. Cerebral Assassin. So the hype for the match was actually pretty good. The match itself, not good. Not great. Not horrible. Bland. The reason why, well, there's a couple of reasons why this match didn't work. First off, it was way too long. This is 17 minutes. Why the hell is this match 17 minutes? You could have easily made it 7 and it would be even better, honestly. And what hurt this match most of all, no, it wasn't just the crowd. Yes, the crowd were assholes to Eugene. They should not have booed him. I don't even know why they gave Eugene a hard time. But what hurt this match was the idea that they had to really overprotect Eugene. You had Triple H, you know, using Lillian Garcia, having Ric Flair go out and help him. That should not have happened. Look, I love Eugene, but I didn't see him as a world champion. Honestly, Triple H should have beat him in like 7-8 minutes. Come on. The fact that they had to go out of their way to protect him this much, it didn't work. It didn't go over very well. It wasn't believable. Eugene could have easily lost to Triple H, put up a fight, and it would have been a great match. Eugene was great as a mid-card talent. I was fine with him being a mid-card talent. But they tried to make him a main event player, which revealed his glass ceiling. He wasn't made for the main event. And I feel like that was the mistake they made. So, yeah, this match honestly was the downfall of Eugene. After this match, he was never the same. And I love Eugene, but his career kind of tanked after this. Luckily, it wasn't the worst match on the show. That's next. Well, actually, next is that Diva Dodgeball. Diva Dodgeball. When the Divas were eye candy. Legit eye candy. Like, oh my goodness. I would have all y'all in my bedroom. Eye candy. But following that awesome dodgeball that I would like to have in my bedroom, WWE Championship, John Bradshaw Layfield with Orlando Jordan. Remember him? Orlando Jordan? Some of you remember him from TNA. Oh! Now versus The Undertaker. This match sucks. This match was bad. And honestly, when you think about it, I don't think JBL and Taker had one good match in 2004. That's a lie. They had that last ride match, I think. Yeah, the last ride match that he lost because of Heidenreich, I believe. Remember Heidenreich? You don't? Okay, I do. But yeah, Taker basically got thrown into, I think, a hearse or like a limousine, and then JBL retained his championship. But see, here's the thing. I don't think JBL was known for his matches. I think JBL was one of those champions that was just really good in the microphone. Honestly, JBL to me, during that long run as WWE champion, is more known for his microphone work than his in-ring matches. If you were to ask me to name one good JBL match, I would have to say his matches with Eddie Guerrero. Especially that bloodfest he had with him at Judgment Day. Oh my goodness. Was that at Judgment Day? I think it was. But other than that, he didn't really have a lot of good matches. But his microphone work? Oh my God. JBL on the microphone was a god. A legitimate wrestling god. He could talk his way out of anything. See, and that's what pisses me off about JBL's champion. He was able to make you care. But when it came to the ring aspect of it, it sucked. And I think that's why people don't like this run. The fact that he was able to make you care about the matches, but the matches don't deliver. And this one was especially bad, because this should have been all kinds of awesome. But it was one of the most underwhelming matches in SummerSlam history. Now, Taker does put JBL through the roof of the limousine, but this match sucked. The main event was the World Heavyweight Championship match. Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton. I'm not going to waste time. You know who wins. Orton wins. He is your new World Heavyweight Champion. So why did this happen? Well, one, Brock Lesnar left, and WWE didn't want to associate with Lesnar no more. Neither did he, but he was the youngest world champion, and they wanted to rid him of that accolade. So they basically rushed Randy Orton to the main event scene to give him the world championship, just so Brock Lesnar wouldn't be the youngest world champion anymore. And yeah, that was the only reason I think they did this. Because the very next month, he drops the belt to Triple H. And I think that's when he turned babyface, right? Yeah, he turned babyface literally weeks after this. Because Evolution attacked Randy Orton because, well, he was world champion and Triple H was crazy. And he hated that Randy Orton got the world championship. Whatever. But yeah, Triple H ends up turning on Randy Orton. Orton turns babyface out of, you know, out of spite, by sheer default. And then, yeah, they had that steel cage match and he drops the belt to Triple H and he doesn't get it back until 2007? He doesn't touch it in 2005. Didn't touch it in 2006. Yeah, he doesn't touch that belt for another 3 years. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, honestly, going back on it, as good as the match was, because it was a good match, I just feel like, look, was it really that big of a deal that Lesnar became the youngest world champion? Let him have the accolade. This was nothing. This didn't even impact Randy Orton's career. This is a blimp on Orton's career. Literally a blimp. I will say that babyface turn was nice. When he spit in Triple H's face, a callback to when he spit in Mick Foley's face. That was awesome. But other than that, yeah, this was dumb. Sorry. And what's even worse about this, the babyface run, which we all know, Orton sucks as babyface. But that babyface run didn't really matter because he ends up turning heel at WrestleMania. So, whatever. Yeah, this whole thing was a waste. And looking back on it, 2004 SummerSlam was, yeah, one of the most forgettable ones I've seen so far. But wasn't a bad show, just something I would suggest you skip. But that's just me. Give me your thoughts about it down below in the comments. I'm going to go back inside because I saw a wasp, and I'm scared of wasps. So, subscribe, and I'll see you in 2005. Peace.